to engage the President on his state visit to the UK. Mr. President, the format you're going to take, each colleague will ask 2 questions, we will respond. We have
You didn't give me a
ENCA.
notebook. You didn't give me a notebook.
Yes, brother. Can you see the President?
We'll get the
Yes,
notebook.
can you see the President?
We have ENCA,
Yes.
we have CNBC, we have Newsroom Africa, SABC,
Oh, okay,
Sunday Times. Those are the colleagues we have, and AFP. Okay, Mzanjo,
When just say something.
say something. Okay,
Just
we'll
because
give,
the President-
we'll give the,
President-
the first question to all of them. Is that okay?
Yes, we're ready. Okay, sure. No, I'm ready.
You're ready? Okay.
Can I get a pen, please? No, I want that one. This one is
Pull
better.
ahead that one then. Okay, Mzanjo,
Yes.
your first 2 questions.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. We, obviously, as the SAPC, would also like to have a bite at posing our own questions around your state visit. Mr. President, you come to the UK when the country really is battling with energy at home, and you did touch on those areas when you were addressing businesses. But then there's a sense at home that their president is running away from dealing with the issues at home, so he's always on the road. So how do you respond to those critics who are saying instead of focusing, staying at home and dealing with the issues that are of utmost importance, you get onto the plane, onto the next destination? And then my second question, yes, you are the head of state, Mr. President, but there's a vehicle that takes you there, which is your party. So unfortunately, we can't not ask about it. So 2 days ago, we saw some of the official nominations. It appears that you have the majority of branch nominations. So what does that say? So does that mean you certainly are taking the second term if elected by the ANC in less than a month? Thank you.
My visits to a number of countries to either go on state visits as well as attending various forums like the G20 and COP27 were well announced in advance. We made it a point that we should inform the country that these were visits that are going to take place. When I went to the UN, we then came to the UK for the burial of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, and after that we had moved to a higher level of load shedding, and I shortened my trip and I went back home to attend to the challenges that we face, and I've done that on 2 occasions. I was heavily criticized for coming back home, and why do I abandon visits that could benefit South Africa? And this time round, this visit to the UK was well known and well announced. And even as I left, we were having the challenge of increased load shedding, and it had to do with diesel shortage, financial challenges, which I am continuously attending to with ministers. I have ministers whose job is to address these issues, and once we've got the framework, such as the one that we put in place to address our energy challenges, ministers as well as the executives of those entities are meant to address that. And I remain in constant contact up to 3-4 times a day, being informed on what is happening and putting forward proposals and taking decisions. So much as I want to be present in the country all the time to address all the challenges that we have, there are times when we've got to also get those who are supposed to do the work themselves. And I then do other work, which is put South Africa on the global map and advocate for increased investments in our country. That is the job that a head of state must do, supported by ministers. And I brought together 4 ministers here, and we've all been involved in a variety of actions and interventions to promote investment in the country, to put South Africa on not only the UK map, but the global map, because this type of state visit is, if you like, beamed across the world, and this is a place where a number of investors are present, and in the end, the UK still represents the biggest foreign direct investors into South Africa. So we've got to talk to them. We've got to get them further interested in our country and invest more, and also participate in our transformation process. And that message is an important message to put across to them. But the other important one was to also tell them about our just energy transition, but also to inform them that we need more funding, particularly for your more developed economy countries, that they must live up to the commitments they made in Paris. They must also live up to the commitments they made at COP26. And now the recent move that developing economy countries are making is that there should be compensation for damage that has been done to our climate. Coming to the ANC process, and as for me, I'm humbled and truly honored to have indicated their support. And I was asked by the Electoral Committee whether I accept the nomination. I said yes, I humbly accept the nomination. And in the end, it is not for me to decide. It is for the branches and the delegates who will come to the conference. And let's leave the decision to the delegates who are mandated by branches to take the final